What would you do if destiny chose you to save the world? Would you have the courage to face the unknown? Did you know that in the heart of the timeless town of Chronos, a humble blacksmith named Enoch was faced with this very question? Welcome to our sleep story, The Tower of Time. Journey with us as we follow Enoch's epic quest through time, unraveling mysteries, defeating ancient guardians, and restoring balance to the world. This story will transport you to a realm of fantasy and adventure while gently guiding you to a peaceful night's sleep. Let's embark on this journey through time together. In the heart of an ageless land lay the quaint town of Chronos, where time seemed to move at its own pace. Nestled between emerald hills and a silver river, the town was a patchwork of cobblestone streets, thatched roof houses, and verdant gardens. At the town's edge, where the rhythmic clanging of metal echoed, stood the blacksmith's forge, and there lived our young hero, Enoch. Enoch, with his tousled chestnut hair, eyes as bright as polished steel, and arms honed from years at the anvil, was a figure of strength and resilience. He lived a simple life, shaping iron into tools and trinkets, believing his life script was written in the sparks flying off his hammer. Yet, unbeknownst to him, destiny was silently crafting a different tale. The prophecy was as ancient as the town itself, passed down through countless generations. It spoke of an ordinary soul embarking on an extraordinary journey, climbing the mythical Tower of Time, a celestial edifice rumored to hold the secrets of past, present, and future. The chosen one would restore balance to the world, torn asunder by the ravages of time. One day, a chance encounter led Enoch to an artifact of unimaginable power. It was a time-worn hourglass, filled with shimmering golden sands that moved strangely, as if time itself danced within. The artifact was more than a mere trinket. It was a key to the Tower of Time. Holding the hourglass in his calloused hands, Enoch felt a sudden surge of energy, a call that seemed to echo from the depths of time. In that moment, he understood. The prophecy was not about a mythical hero from the tales. It was about him. He was the chosen one, the hero destined to climb the Tower of Time. His life was not his own anymore, as he was now tethered to the fate of the world. As Enoch reached the outskirts of Chronos, his eyes fell upon a sight that took his breath away. Rising above the horizon was the Tower of Time, an imposing monolith that pierced the sky. Its stone structure, made of a mysterious material that shimmered and shifted colors, seemed to absorb the light around it, creating an aura of otherworldly majesty. The tower was so tall that its summit vanished into the thick clouds, a sight that evoked awe and a sense of reverence. The entrance to the tower was an enormous, ornately carved door adorned with symbols from a forgotten language. The timeless lock that sealed it was a circular indention, a mirror image of the hourglass artifact that Enoch held. It was a puzzle, a test for the chosen one, a challenge that had waited for eons to be solved. With a deep breath, Enoch held the hourglass, feeling its strange energy pulsate in his hands. He inserted it into the lock, turning it this way and that, feeling the subtle clicks and shifts as the artifact found its true orientation. Suddenly, the tower seemed to come alive, the symbols on the door glowing with an ethereal light. With a deep, resonant sound that echoed through the air, the monumental doors slowly swung open. A gust of ancient air, heavy with the scent of age-old stone and the faintest hint of ozone, swept over Enoch. Inside, the dimly lit spiral staircase stretched upwards, disappearing into the gloom above, inviting him into the enigma of the past, present, and future. Enoch, with newfound determination in his heart, took his first steps into the Tower of Time. As the entrance sealed behind him, he realized that his journey, a journey through time itself, had just begun. The young blacksmith was about to become a time-walking hero. As Enoch ascended the winding staircase of the tower, he soon found himself in a vast chamber, lit by a spectral glow. The chamber was home to the colossal stone guardian. Carved from granite and standing at least 3 times Enoch's height, the guardian was a sight to behold. Its body was covered in intricate etchings depicting scenes from a forgotten past, and its eyes glowed with an eerie, ageless light. The guardian, an embodiment of the past, was a relic from an era long gone. It wielded a massive stone sword and a shield that bore the mark of time, covered in moss and lichen. It moved with an unexpected agility, employing fighting techniques that were ancient, methods practiced by warriors of a bygone age. The battle began, and the guardian launched itself at Enoch with an almost deafening roar. It swung its enormous sword with precision and power, its movements a deadly dance perfected over millennia. Enoch, however, was not unarmed. His years at the forge had honed not only his muscles, but also his mind. He studied the guardian's patterns, observed its rhythm, and noticed the slight delay between its attacks. Remembering the properties of the metals he'd worked with, Enoch realized that the stone, as robust as it was, had weaknesses. With the hourglass artifact in his hand, he struck at the guardian, targeting the joints where the stone was weakest, just as he would strike a piece of iron at its most vulnerable to shape it. The fight was long and arduous, but Enoch's determination and knowledge ultimately won. With a final powerful blow, he shattered the guardian's stone shield and struck its core. The guardian crumbled, its pieces echoing through the chamber as they fell. Breathing heavily but standing victorious, Enoch moved further up the tower, leaving the remnants of the past behind. His first challenge was conquered, but he knew that this was just the beginning of his journey through time. Enoch continued his ascent, entering the middle of the tower, where the air shimmered with an unseen energy. This portion of the tower represented the present, unpredictable, constantly shifting, and as elusive as a fleeting thought. Unlike the lower levels, there were no physical enemies here. Instead, the tower presented a labyrinth of invisible traps, each more perilous than the last. The traps were a reflection of the here and now, ever-changing and practically invisible until one was ensnared. There were shifting walls that appeared solid one moment and spectral the next, steps that would phase out of existence without warning, and sudden gusts of wind strong enough to throw him off balance. Enoch, however, was not without defenses. His instincts, honed from years of working with unpredictable elements at the forge, served him well. He learned to sense the subtle changes in the air, the faint hum of the tower's energy that signaled a trap. He became a part of the present, flowing with its rhythm, adapting to its capricious nature. But intuition alone was not enough. The hourglass artifact, the key to the tower, once again proved its worth. When held aloft, it pulsed with a golden light, revealing the contours of the invisible traps. The walls shimmered into existence, the treacherous steps glowed with a warning light, and the sudden gusts of wind were visible as distortions in the air. With careful steps and a keen eye, Enoch navigated the labyrinth, moving with the pulse of the present. Each successful maneuver, each avoided trap, was a testament to his adaptability and the power of the artifact. The journey was fraught with danger, but Enoch moved forward, one step at a time, embracing the challenge of the present as he moved ever closer to the enigma of the future. As Enoch reached the penultimate level of the tower, he was met with a sight that made him pause. The chamber was vast, its ceiling lost in the darkness above, and at its heart stood a massive puzzle structure. Composed of interlocking gears and dials covered with cryptic symbols and enigmatic runes, it was a manifestation of the future, intricate, uncertain, and full of possibilities. The puzzle was a testament to the complexity of the future. Each dial represented a possible timeline, each gear a potential outcome, and each symbol a choice to be made. It was a daunting task, a cerebral labyrinth that Enoch had to navigate to reach the top of the tower. He approached the puzzle with a mix of trepidation and determination. He knew that one wrong move could lock him in a loop of endless futures, trapping him in the tower forever. But he also knew that the hourglass artifact in his possession was the key to unraveling this riddle. As Enoch manipulated the artifact, he found that it had a profound effect on the puzzle. The sands within the hourglass shifted and swirled, causing the gears of the puzzle to grind and shift, the dials to rotate, and the symbols to change. The artifact was not just a key, it was a tool to shape the future, just as his blacksmith's hammer shaped metal. It was a grueling task, requiring all of his concentration and patience. Each configuration of the puzzle revealed new paths, new possibilities, and new challenges. But Enoch, fueled by his determination, pressed on. He adapted to every change, learned from every setback, and never lost sight of his goal. After what felt like an eternity, Enoch found the correct configuration. With a final turn of the artifact, the puzzle clicked into place, its gears aligning in a perfect harmony. A path opened, leading to the final level of the tower. Exhausted but triumphant, Enoch moved forward, ready to face the final test. The uncertain future was no longer a mystery to him, but a challenge he was ready to face. The top of the Tower of Time, and the ultimate revelation of his journey, was now within his reach. At long last, Enoch reached the apex of the Tower of Time. The highest chamber was a dome of shimmering energy, a place where time seemed to stand still. There, in the heart of the swirling eddies of time, stood the timekeeper. The timekeeper was unlike any being Enoch had ever encountered. It was a figure cloaked in nebulous strands of light, its form constantly shifting, an embodiment of all times and none. Its voice was a chorus of whispers, echoes from every moment that had ever been and ever would be. The timekeeper, the custodian of the tower, greeted Enoch with a solemn nod. It did not attack, for its challenge was not one of physical might, but of wisdom and understanding. It began to question Enoch, its voice resonating through the chamber. The questions delved into morality, probing Enoch's understanding of right and wrong, good and evil. It asked about destiny, whether Enoch believed in predetermined paths or the power of choice. It questioned him about time, its nature, and its purpose. Each question was a test, a puzzle more complex than any gear or trap he had encountered. Enoch answered each question truthfully, his voice steady and confident. His years at the anvil had taught him the value of honesty, the importance of hard work, and the ability to shape his own destiny. He had learned from the guardian of the past, navigated the traps of the present, and solved the puzzle of the future. When the timekeeper asked him about the nature of time, Enoch paused. He thought about his journey, the battles he had fought, the traps he had avoided, and the puzzle he had solved. He finally spoke, his voice echoing in the vast chamber. He explained that he now saw time not as a straight line, but as a vast river, flowing in every direction, its currents representing the past, present, and future. The timekeeper listened, its form flickering as it absorbed Enoch's words. His answers reflected not only his understanding, but also his growth. He had come as a blacksmith, but he was leaving as a hero who understood the true nature of time. Enoch had passed the final test, proving himself worthy of the power to restore balance to the world. Having proven his wisdom and understanding, Enoch was deemed worthy by the timekeeper. As a reward, he was bestowed with the power to manipulate time, to restore balance and heal the wounds of the world. The hourglass artifact in his hand pulsed with newfound energy, its golden sands swirling with the essence of time itself. Enoch returned to his world with a sense of purpose. The artifact in his hand held the power to mend the fabric of time, to erase the scars of war, to end the spread of deadly plagues, and to alleviate the suffering that had befallen his world. With a deep breath, he held the hourglass aloft, and as he did, a surge of energy washed over the land. The power of time flowed through him, bending to his will. The broken was mended, the sick were healed, and the cries of suffering turned into sighs of relief. Wars were undone, their horrors turned into lessons of peace, and plagues were erased, their memory a warning for the future. The world breathed a sigh of relief as balance was restored. With his task complete, Enoch returned to the small town of Chronos. But he was no longer just a blacksmith. He was the hero who had climbed the Tower of Time, the one who had restored balance to the world. Yet, despite his monumental achievement, he chose to live humbly, returning to the rhythm of the forge, to the life he knew and loved. Yet Enoch was forever changed. His journey had taught him the value of time, the power of choice, and the importance of balance. He had seen the past, navigated the present, and shaped the future. He carried these lessons with him, a constant reminder of his journey, his responsibility, and his growth. From that day forward, Enoch was more than a blacksmith. He was the timekeeper's chosen one, the guardian of time, living in the heart of the timeless town of Chronos, forever marking the rhythm of time with the strikes of his hammer. As the years rolled on, Enoch's story became a beloved part of the town's lore. It was passed down from parents to children, from teachers to students, from the old to the young. The tale of the humble blacksmith who climbed the Tower of Time, solved its mysteries, and used its power to heal the world, was told and retold, each rendition imbued with a sense of awe and reverence. Enoch's tale served as a reminder to the people of his courage and wisdom. It taught them that a humble heart could hold the courage of a lion, that wisdom could come from the most unexpected places, and that one individual could change the course of history. Enoch's story became a beacon of hope, a tale that inspired, guided, and gave strength to those who heard it. The Tower of Time stood as a tangible testament to Enoch's journey. It remained at the outskirts of Chronos, its shimmering structure piercing the sky, untouched by the passage of time. Its presence was a constant reminder of the heroic deeds that took place within its walls, and it served as a symbol of hope, resilience, and the power of one's destiny. The tower had changed since Enoch's journey. No longer a daunting challenge, it now emanated a warm, reassuring glow. Its massive doors remained sealed, the timeless lock untouched, preserving the sanctity of Enoch's quest. But within its silent walls, a rhythmic ticking could be heard, like the steady heartbeat of time itself. It was a soothing sound that echoed through the air, a lullaby that was carried by the wind, reaching the ears of the townsfolk of Chronos. Even as generations came and went, the story of Enoch, the humble blacksmith turned time-walking hero, lived on. His legend, much like the Tower of Time, stood unyielding, a beacon of hope and a testament to courage. And the tower, with its rhythmic ticking, continued to mark the passage of time, a heartbeat echoing through the ages, a symbol of a journey that changed the world.